Hello students, it's me, Gabe, and today I'm going to be your teacher in helping you with lesson 3C. So this lesson is titled, How Do We Remember? It is on page 61. So turn to page 61 and we can get started. So on page 61, the first thing that we see is, what is your favorite memory? What's your favorite memory? We're going to be talking about memory a lot today, so we're going to be discussing things like information. Here are words to do with memory. We have information, connections, language loop, visual area, long-term memory. I'm going to say it quickly so that you know how it's supposed to sound. Information, connections, language loop, visual area, long-term memory. So you can replay it as many times as you need to until you get the pronunciation right. So listen to it slowly, then do it faster. So it also says listening. We are not going to be doing listening right now. We're going to do listening in class tomorrow with my dad. So do not worry about listening for this. So you're just going to answer these questions with your words. We see we have these words here, and you can answer these questions. And then you'll hand this in to teacher Brian tomorrow, my dad. You'll hand it in to him tomorrow. That's important because he's going to quiz you on that. So keep that in mind. Again, the podcast here, not important. That will happen tomorrow. So do not worry about the podcast. So now turn to page 62. Now, look at this picture. This is cool. Do you know the Burj Khalifa is the tallest building in the world? Of course you knew that. Until America builds a taller one, of course. One day we will have a taller building. Then you can come visit sometime. Anyway, we have to do some grammar. I know it's boring, but we have to do some grammar. So use of English. So today's use of English is to plus infinitive. So here's a few examples of what to plus infinitives look like. To try, to sleep, to remember. And infinitives are special in the sense that they aren't talking about the past or the future. They are forever. They can be both. They can be about the past to the future, it can be the present, it can be all of these. That's why it's called infinitive. So to try, you could have tried 10 years ago, you could try in the future, you could try right now. It's universal, it always works. So to try, to sleep, to remember. When do we use to plus infinitive? After some verbs. We can use to plus infinitive after thinking and feeling verbs. For example, forget, remember, plan, want. I forgot to call Fatima. That's a sentence. You can see right here how that looks. So forget, is that a thinking or a feeling word? That's a thinking word. Remember, that's another thinking word. Plan, another thinking word. Want, you want something. I want to make money. That's a feeling verb. And I forgot to call Fatima, and so that's an example. So you can use infinitives after both feeling and wanting, feeling and thinking verbs. You can use on both. Here's another example. Remember to study English. Notice it's underlined. That's important for later. We can use nouns plus to plus infinitive after some verbs. For example, need, remind, tell, want. And you can see here, I need my mother to buy tea. And you can practice this. You can see you have your I need here, and then you have your noun, and then you have your infinitive. Can you tell? Because it's the to buy. You got your infinitive here. So this is an example of an infinitive. I reminded Omar to send a message. I told my brother to go home. I wanted the noise to stop. If you have a lot of brothers and sisters, you know what it's like. Loud all the time. It's loud in my father's class. He always tells me that students are so loud. Try to see if you can get a little bit quieter. My dad would have very much liked that. Anyway, do your best. After some adjectives, for example, happy, easy, ready, you can use infinitives as well. See, I was happy to go home. You have your adjective, and then you have your infinitive. I was ready to leave the restaurant. You have your adjective, then you have your infinitive. To say why I went to the mall to buy new shoes. And this is another basic example of an infinitive. So practice with that and remember where you can use infinitives, because now it's time to test your knowledge. See how much you know. So language focus. Underline the main verb in each sentence and circle to plus infinitive. So find the verb and underline it and circle your 2 plus infinitives. If you do a good job at that, my dad will be very happy. It will be a very good thing. So moving on to our next step. This is number 4. You can see you need to take lots of water to the desert. Tell Fatima to make a word web. In the future, I want to be a doctor. Underline the verbs in these sentences and circle the 2 plus infinitives in the sentence. So step 4, complete the sentences with your ideas about how to remember. So now you get to practice using infinitives yourself. So I'll only answer number 1. So it says, I want to. What do you want to do? I want to make money. That's why I'm making videos. I get to make money when I make these videos. What do you want to do? Do you like to make clothes? Do you like to draw? What do you like to do? You can answer these questions. And then it is not easy to what? What's it not easy to do? What's something not easy for you to do? You can use the 2 plus infinitives here. So just practice with all of these. You have to answer all of them. And if you do that, my father will be very happy. So do your best. So moving on to page 63, we have, okay, we're still in the same lesson. Oh, good. Choose the words from the box to complete the question. So we have some new words here. Forget, emotions, connection, short-term memory, long-term memory, neuron. So I said those a little bit quickly. I'll say it a little slower. Forget, emotions, connection, short-term memory, long-term memory, neuron. And of course, you'll practice with listening tomorrow with my father. So it's okay if you don't get these perfect right now, but do practice. It's important. So now answer these questions. And once you've used these words to answer these questions that we have right here, there are blank spots where you will answer these sentences using these words. So try your best to get that right, and I'll be impressed if you get them all right. Okay. Step 2, you have a list of new words to remember for homework. What can you do to remember the new words? Write your ideas in the box. Now talk to your partner and share your ideas. So what you're doing here is you're sharing ideas. How can you remember the new words you learned today? Write down ways you think you could remember these words, practicing. Whatever you think would help you remember, write them down in this box. And I know you're at home right now, so you don't have a partner or another student with you unless you have a brother or sister to help you. Of course, English is boring, so they probably don't want to do that. But if you do have a brother or sister that wants to practice English with you, you can do that with them, but the partner will happen tomorrow. So for now, try your best on your own. So step 3, choose a word that you need to remember and make a word web. So from the words you learned today, you can put them in this word web. You can use this to help you practice. You know how this works. And you will learn everything these new words are able to do. It's a great way to learn English very quickly, and it will impress me if you can do it very well. So try your best. So step 4, what do you need to do this week? Write your to-do list. So what do you need to do this week? For example, this week I have to make a bunch of videos for you so that you can learn English, and I'm having a lot of fun too. Are you having fun? Something on your to-do list, you need to watch this video. If you're watching this video, good job. But what are other things you need to do? Do you need to feed the camels? Do you need to feed camels? Do you need to wash your clothes? That's an important thing to do. So just write down things you need to do on the to-do list. Step 5, complete the dialogue with information from your to-do list. Then read the dialogue with your partner. Now, you don't have a partner right now, so you can practice this tomorrow, but just on your own, you can use this again to practice the new words you've learned. For example, you can see right here it says, I need to blank, and you can use the new words you've learned and write them down here. Or you can use words that you already know to explain what you need to do this week. It's just good English practice, because when you go to an English-speaking country, you will have to use English all the time. So this is important. So try to get these all right. And quite frankly, I'm very impressed that you can do this. Learning another language is very hard, so I am very impressed. So students, that is all that we have to learn today. Thank you so much. You've done a fantastic job if you've watched to this point. I'm very impressed. So I hope to see you all very soon, and good luck in class tomorrow.